little bit about when Pac got his first movie role. As I understand, you were supposed to be in the movie with the Hughes brothers. Actually, before that, what was y'all's relationship with the Hughes brothers before Tupac did Juice? What was y'all's relationship with the Hughes brothers, and what was your thoughts on the Hughes brothers?
Well, the Hughes brothers, they, obviously they weren't involved with Juice, so that was a whole separate thing. But
Menace.
yeah, they did Menace to Society. But the Hughes brothers, actually, their first video that they ever did was the Raw Fusion video, Throw Your Hands in the Air. And we kind of discovered them. And, I like to be like, we discovered them like we made them. But they were shopping their video reel, and I saw it, and we chose them, and our video was their first job, professional job. So they did that, and they did Rockin' to the PM, which was another Raw Fusion single. And at Throw Your Hands in the Air video, Pac was there, and they were intrigued by him. So they actually did Brenda's Got a Baby. No, they did Trapped was the first video, but through us, they did Tupac's first two videos. So we were the first people that actually hired them. We had a good relationship. Now the whole thing with Menace and that's how Saphir ended up being in the movie like that. But I really don't know what happened with Tupac and the Hughes brothers. I've heard the stories. I know that there was a fight and whatever. And personally, I don't know, because I just kind of reconnected with them, believe it or not, within the last few weeks. I think that whatever happened between them may have gotten in the way of us communicating, because I felt like I should have been in Menace to Society, because I'm like, God damn, got Too Short, Pooh Man. I'm like, right. What happened to your guy? But, it just didn't happen. I ain't mad, kind of. But you know what I'm saying. That's what it was. Now, we, go back and let's talk about Juice. The misconception was that Tupac had my role in Juice, but he didn't. I was the one who actually had got called to audition for that movie. But the role that I was going to audition for was Steel, which was played by the dude from Lean On Me. So, but I'm reading the script, and I'm like, this character, Bishop, kind of reminds me of Pac, and I knew that Pac had went to school for acting, and he knew how to act. So I asked him to help me. Originally, I asked him to help me prepare for the role. And then I was like, you know what? You should actually come read for this. And through Atrin, and I believe Kara Lewis agency was the ones that initially, that's how it was presented to me. But Atrin made some calls, and however it was hooked up, Tupac was able to come and do the audition as well. So the goal was, and Tretch and Tupac, they were like best friends. Tretch came to read as well. So we thought Tretch was going to be Bishop. Tupac was going to be Bishop. Tretch ran for the role of Q, which was played by Omar Epps, and I ran for Steel. So we thought that all three of us were going to be those three guys. But, Tupac was the one who actually knew how to act. So he got it.
How did it feel, before we get to Tupac's death, how did it feel years later when you heard that Tupac shot the police? And I know this was who you was smoking weed with, running through women with, chilling with, this your homeboy, but you also know he got that Black Panther background. What was on your mind when you got the word? And where were you, if you remember, when Tupac shot the police?
I don't know exactly where I was, but it didn't surprise me. I was just like, this nigga crazy. It sounded like something he would do. You know what I mean? So I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't shocked by it at all.
With the last few questions, How did it feel when you found out that Tupac was murdered? What was your initial thoughts? What was Digital Underground's thoughts? I mean, what happened as a crew? Because you guys was Tupac's first major crew. I mean, I know he had the Strictly Dope crew, but he came into the music game with Digital Underground. What was your initial thoughts when they said on the radio or TV or however you heard it, Tupac is dead?
Well, you have to remember, he didn't get, it wasn't like he got murdered. He didn't get shot and die. He was in the hospital. So he had already been shot before. So, I think all of us just thought he was going to make it. You know what I mean? Because he had been shot and came out of it, came out on the other side. So we like, well, he got shot again. He really going to be talking shit when he get well. And it just didn't happen. You know what I mean? So obviously, I always tell people the only way to describe it is just imagine if your brother got killed, brother died, or a close family member, if they passed. That's the hurt and the pain that you have. And it's a little more amplified just because, just in our last conversation together, I knew that it was a lot that he was going to do. It was more like, I hate that the world didn't get to see the full impact of what he could have done for us. You know what I mean? Like, I always, Tupac, what was he, 25, right? So just think about it. Malcolm X was still Dirty Red when he was 25. He hadn't even become Malcolm X. And I believe that Tupac would have become something a lot greater than what, I don't know, people, it's hard to believe that you could be greater than that, but he was 25. So imagine, the power that he had at that age and what he could have done with it. And I knew what he wanted to do with it. So that's the thing that probably hurts the most, is that I knew the impact that he would have had on the world, even more so had he been able to, grow.
Why did you and your father and me all get together? Why did you do it and get together to politicize the memory of Tupac and to make sure that we made a connection between generations that were solving their problems in our generation? What was the importance of you being involved with all
just celebrating Tupac's birthday every year? I mean, and it's funny because after saying everything that I just said, I do think it's important to continue to celebrate Pac, because he's not, he's not here to continue the work that I know that he would do, but I think he did enough to where, my dad, he did the first one in 1999, right? And, from what he says is that Fanny told him to keep doing it, so, and obviously, I know the importance that Tupac, I know the importance of Tupac, and also I am always in support of my dad for what he wants to do, and obviously I love the Fanny as well. So it just, it felt right to do. And we did it for those years, whether it was a blowout or just a few people came. I think every time we did it, it was something special, and the people that were there appreciated it. And then I think that you can pick a moment from each one that was special about it. And so that is what is great about it. Even if it just brings us together, us three together. Pac is doing that for us. He's bringing us together every year. Or, Pac makes me go to the Bay and my family members come to one place. We drink, listen to great music, and it's always something special. So even if it's just that, that's what Tupac is doing for us right now.
How do people keep in touch with Money B and Young Hump and all the things that are going on around you?
If you really want to just know what I'm doing, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MoneyB69. Very easy, like the position. Money B69. We do it. And then, Young Hump is at Young Hump DU for Digital Underground. So follow us on social media, and we always lit. You know what I mean? We doing it like that. And then obviously visit the website, which is dumerch.com. Where you get your Digital Underground gear. And then we have moneybeingyounghump.com, which is our website. And when we performing, where we've been, what we about to do, all that shit. So we out here, man. Coming up ain't easy.